Hi everyone, my name is Maribel, and I will be sharing a little bit about myself today. Um, June is Cancer Awareness Month, and I happen to be a cancer survivor, ovarian cancer survivor, and I just want to share a little bit about that with you all to show awareness and to let you know that you're not alone and that you will get over this, that you will overcome. And let me get started with my story. It's obviously just a chapter in my life that I choose to see it as. It is something that took place during my journey, and it was a lesson that came to be. And I learned a lot actually from it. It brought so much pain, so much light, and a lot of bravery, a lot of decision making that took place on my own, but I had to learn how to do this on my own. I had a great team of support. I think that's the most important thing for a cancer patient. If you know one, go towards them and support them because they need you. They need you more than ever. And I would have never known that until I have gone through the journey of it. So, it began December of 2017. It was my 37th birthday. That's when I got the notice, when I got the news about it. I'll start with the beginning of it, and I'll try to make this as short as possible. I don't want to extend this too much for you all. But I'll start with how it began, which it consists of my father suffering a massive stroke December 2016. My parents losing their home July or August of 2017 due to a massive hurricane that came hitting Houston. And then I was diagnosed with cancer December of 2017. So it was a year from December to December that I became in survival mode. I was surviving. I was not thriving. I was not living. I was simply staying afloat, surviving, swimming, just doing the best that I could to breathe. It was very difficult to breathe. I don't know how I made it through that year, to be honest. And obviously, at the end of it, I was diagnosed with a disease, so that explains the severity of my state of mind. The symptoms that I had through this process were fatigue, bloatiness on and off, and a rash throughout my body, which I suffer from eczema, so I was not very concerned of this as much, I guess. But it extended throughout my whole body, my arms, my legs, my face, and it was severe inflammation that I had. So because of this, I did see many doctors throughout the time. I was very, very concerned about my health, despite of how I was mentally feeling. But they gave me steroids. They dismissed anything else. They said it was stress and I just needed to relax, which a lot of people I come across with, that has been their story, that they just been told that it's in their head, or they just need to remove stress from their life, or whatever it may be, but it doesn't get addressed with the core of what it could be. So I ask you, please do never stop. Your body will always tell you the truth. It will never lie to you. It will always inform you of what is bothering it, where you need to remove yourself from, what things you need to adapt and change to be in a healthier state. So with that stated, I came across some really good doctors and some not so great along the way. Um, and I was in this for a year: fatigue, bloatiness, rash. Those were my only symptoms. Extreme fatigue. I mean, it was very difficult to even raise my legs up as I was walking. And after this, I had, I'll never forget this. It was Thanksgiving, and right after that, I had stabbing pain. I was in bed, and I was woken up by some stabbing pain to the right of my ribs. I've never had pain in my life like that, or even back pain. I was a very pretty healthy individual before this, a yoga practitioner, a marathon runner, half marathon runner, a cyclist, a hiker, a runner. I mean, you name it. I did a lot of activities, and I enjoyed it, and I just never had severe pain like this. I ate somewhat healthy from what I thought at the time, so it was just very strange for me to feel this severe discomfort and pain. So I proceeded on to go to work that day because I was on probation and I was concerned about my job. So that should tell you a lot of things. Also about my work ethic. I love my job, and I didn't think anything of it. So I went to work, didn't feel well, took myself to urgent care, called in during my work, and went to see the urgent care doctor, and he thought it was kidney stones. And from there on, kidney stones, that's what he thought. I went to go see my doctor. I flew home to see my doctor. She took a CT scan, an x-rays, I believe, and she was able to see, she thought it was kidney stones. It was a passing kidney stone. And then she saw the mass growth. And from there, that's where my life changed completely. Her expression was, I don't know what it is. It's just a mass growth that you have. We'll see where it goes from here. So they did a CA-125, which consists of inflammation in your body. It's usually from 0 to 30. That's a normal average for people to have somewhat inflammation. Mine was at 630, something like that. It was a big number. So as you can only imagine, things were not looking in the right direction for me at that time. I went into a state of shock, from survival to shock. It was not a good place to be. So from 1 year of surviving to the next year of shock, then I proceeded on to get other tests, see oncologist, gynecologist, which is extremely recommended if you ever are diagnosed with cancer. See a gynecologist, oncologist. They would know what to do with your situation. If you are in some kind of gynecological cancer, cervical cancer, ovarian, uterine, that's who it's always recommended to see, a gynecologist, oncologist. I saw an oncologist, lots of doctors that I never thought I would ever see in my lifetime. At my 37th birthday, that was my present, in a sense, to see all those doctors and meet with all these people and learn so much. I took so many notes. I had such a great support system that I am beyond grateful, because I couldn't have done it by myself. You just need people in your life to love you and support you during that very shocking, difficult situation. So I urge you to please support someone who you know has cancer. Love on them in any simple way you can. Support them because they need it more than you will ever know. So we proceeded on to take all the tests, that were needed to be taken. I was informed that there were 40 types of cancers. I didn't know that. I thought ovarian cancer was just one type. There's 40 types, and the type of cancer that I happened to have was endometrium ovarian cancer, which partially was caused by endometriosis. I had no clue that I had. Extremely painful periods throughout my whole life. Didn't even know that was something you can modify or deal with, but I did. So then I realized I was pretty strong. That was something else that I learned about myself, that I was pretty strong. And I had all the tests done, all that went through. Then they determined that I was going to get surgery. The surgery that would be performed would be a laparoscopic surgery, which it's like little holes that they do. I believe 3 little holes that they're supposed to do. Well, it turns out that my tumor was too large, so unfortunately it ruptured inside of me. So they had to do debulking surgery, which consists of surgery that they open you from the belly button down to the pelvic area. It's a wide opening. It's a cleaning of you. So they proceeded to do that. The tumor was the size of a grapefruit. That's what it was stated. And that tumor was pressing on my right ovary. That's why the pain was pretty unbearable. They caught it at stage 1, grade 3, which is, stage 1 is the stage you want to be, if that's any stage, I guess. Grade 3 is an aggressive cancer. So it was growing very fast. But the stage of it was low, so it was a good thing. It's a great thing. Only 15% of women are caught up at that stage. So it's a whispering disease. Ovarian cancer is a disease that whispers, that you don't know sometimes till it's a very higher stage. So I do recommend to always listen to what your body is telling you. If something's not right, it's just not right. Don't dismiss it. You know better. You know best. No one knows your body as better as you do. Not a doctor, not a friend, not a family member. You know what is truly going on with you. They're just there to assist you. I've always said that. Doctors and nurses are there to assist you. They're great at what they do, but you know your body better than anyone. If that's something you get from this, is that you know your body better than anyone. And then proceeded on to having surgery. Unfortunately, due to the fact that the tumor ruptured, I had to have chemo. I chose to do that because I was concerned of just the tumor rupturing inside of me, and that was a decision that I had to make. It was a very, very hard decision to make. I remember the moment that I made it, and I cried. Cried for a long time. Take a deep breath here. This is where my yoga comes into place. They were just very tough decisions that I had to make for my own health, for my own well-being. No one else could make them for me, only myself. So after my surgery was complete, 30 days after, which I actually took 2 months. They say they wanted to do the surgery as soon as possible, and they did. I mean, the surgery was done December 20th. The cancer was discovered on my birthday, the end of November, beginning of December, which they weren't calling it cancer at the time until they did the biopsy, which that consists of having the surgery. So I had to wait. So during my surgery, I had to wait for the surgery to come. They had to decide, and I had to wake up to, like, yes, you have cancer, or no, you don't have cancer. I didn't know. I went into surgery without knowing, waking up to the news of, yes, you have cancer, or no, you don't have cancer. That's the worst time to go to sleep, to wake up to such a decision that was going to be given to you, because That's the way they were going to find out. So that took place. I had cancer. They removed it. I was in the hospital for almost maybe 4 days or so. They accidentally ruptured my puncture my bladder while I was there, so that had to recover. I had to wear a catheter for a week or so. That was something horrible too. It was absolutely horrible to experience not only a surgery as major as I did have of an opening, but on top of that a catheter, and then knowing that chemo was coming. So a lot of news, a lot of new things for my body that was in shock. After such a surgery, a woman goes into an instant menopause. So as a 37-year-old woman, I went into an instant menopause. Fortunately, I have such a great team that I was able to overcome that as well. And I think the herbs, I'm an herb girl, so I take a lot of herbs. But there was a lot of things that I had to learn. And as my process went on, I went on to chemo. Chemo consisted of carbotoxo. That was the cocktail that they decided to do for me. 4 to 6 hours sitting on a chair, and this pumping into your body. It's obviously poison. It's obviously to kill the cancer cells, but also to kill everything else in your body. It's the simple truth. It kills every other thing in your body. That's why your hair falls out. That's why you lose color. A lot of people actually pass away also in combination from the chemo, because it is absolutely horrific. There's no other word to describe that. It's just absolutely the worst thing ever. And you feel like you're dying slowly. But yet, it can help you. And it's the way you choose to see it. At first, I was terrified. I was in a state of shock and scared to death over everything. I didn't know how I was going to overcome this. But then I started reading a lot of books, a lot of podcasts, a lot of verses from the Bible, a lot of prayers, a lot of songs. My faith is Christian, and I just submerged myself into my faith and my vision of healing, and I held on to that. And I just stayed in that state for a very, very long time. When I had chemo sessions, I would actually take in some deep breaths and exhale, meditate, visualize the chemo coming into my body and killing all the cancer cells, but leaving every other organ of mine alone. I visualized the chemo being my friend. I visualized me overcoming this. I visualized me bouncing back from this. I visualized so many wonderful things, and it was during those sessions of sitting there in the chemo chair, I found God. I mean, I knew who God was before this, but I found him there next to me, even in that chemo chair. He has never left me, and I knew that. I knew that then, and I know that now. So the experiences of chemo would be rashes, severe rashes that felt like fiberglass was leaving my body. It was so overwhelming, painful, anxiety, that I've never even realized I had until that took place. I went through the hair loss was very traumatic. I had my hair down to my waist at the time, And I chose to gradually let it be cut by my choice. So I went to go see my hairstylist, and I asked her if she would just cut my hair gradually, and she did. She gradually gave me beautiful haircuts. And then I ended up with the G.I. Jane, which that was the end, and I let my hair fell all after that. My eyebrows, my eyelashes, everything. That's very traumatic for a woman. Very traumatic. And then I continued on with my supplements, vitamins, and chemo, and then I would cook some chicken soup after every chemo and have beans and healthy stuff, whole food. I removed a lot of things from my life at that time so I can just focus on healing. I removed a lot of people from my life, as well as things that were not helping to improve the healing. And I learned yoga, meditation, more deeper into it. The yoga assisted in strengthening my core. The meditation assisted in calming my mind. And here I am today. I'm happy to say that I am very healthy. I'm doing very well. And I choose to not call it remission. I choose to call it no evidence of disease. I choose to see it as a journey, a chapter that I chose to experience somewhat. And it came back with a lot of love, wisdom from it. I chose to love the cancer at that time too. I know there's been a difference between kicking cancer's ass, and there's just so many other things, statements that are associated with that, which is fine. It's whatever you choose to see it as. For my own personal experience, I chose to give it love, because I came to the realization that it was part of me, and that part of me went rogue for a reason. And I had to find that reason. I had to find out why that happened, why my cells chose not to be working together anymore. So I feel like it's a process. It's a continued process that I will always be on to grow and learn. The most important thing is to keep stress levels at bay. Stress won't go away, but there's management towards it. And the tools that I found for my personal life have been meditation and yoga, and nature. So this is part of my story. There's just much more to this, but I leave you with this. I wish you a very, very lovely day, and I give you hope. I give you hope, and I pray for you, and God bless you, and know that you know best. Know that you know the best for yourself. Thank you for this time, and wishing everyone excellent health and love and light. And shout out to Carol's Light for this format, this way of expressing ourselves, connecting with each other, and allowing me to be here with you all. Once again, I thank you for your time and listening to this very long message. But I hope you gain something from it, and whether it's that you know best or that you know someone that's suffering with cancer, to go support them. If that's all you get, hey, it's a good day. So thank you.